Hello. Value of Brahmacharya by Swami Tathagatananda continued. The higher and essential spiritual dimension of the body mind complex cannot be ignored if we want to develop a healthy mind and body. The pursuit of the spiritual goal of life invariably requires control of the mind and strong motivation. A better scheme of living is called for to develop in a normal healthy way for to develop in a normal healthy way that is governed by moral integrity which dignifies life. The lower impulses simply mask our predominant urge for happiness. Swami Vivekanand says, happiness we see is what everyone is seeking, but the majority seeks it in things which are evanescent and not real. No happiness was ever found in the senses. There never was a person who found happiness in the senses or in the enjoyment of the senses. Happiness is found only in the spirit. Therefore, the highest utility for mankind is to find this happiness in the spirit. Brahmacharya ensures the mental and physical purity required to fulfill the spiritual goal of life. Physically and mentally proficient people who wish to pursue a spiritual goal must, for this purpose, sublimate their energy by seriously considering the impact of thought. Adi Shankaracharya says that our thoughts and cogitations are a tremendous force in our lives. Purity in thought, word, and deed protects us from the ravages of impure thoughts associated with a sensate culture. Spiritual life requires us to control and harness energy for the sole spiritual purpose of God realization. The benefits of continence, socio cultural and medical verifications. Medical science has established that the abuse of the reproductive urge, incontinence, dissipates the most vital part of human blood and deprives the body of the essential nutrition it needs for mental stability and a healthy nervous system. The cardiovascular, respiratory, and nervous systems become unduly excited. Dr. Thomas L. Nichols gives an informed view in his esoteric anthropology. It is a physiological fact that the best blood in the body goes to form the elements of reproduction in both sexes. In a pure and orderly life, this matter is absorbed. It goes back into circulation, ready to form the finest brain, nerve, and muscular tissue. This life of man carried back and diffused through his system makes him manly, strong, brave, and heroic. If wasted, it leaves him effeminate, weak, and irresolute, intellectually and physically debilitated, and prey to sexual irritation, disordered function, morbid sensation, disordered muscular movement, a wretched nervous system, epilepsy, insanity, and death. The suspended use of the generative organs is attended with a notable increase of bodily vigor and spiritual life. Western medical professionals agree. One medical opinion shared by two physicians states the following: for a young man up to the time of his marriage, chastity is most salutary, not only in an ethical and aesthetical sense, but also from a hygienic standpoint. Another medical authority says chastity, a pure continent life, is consonant with the best conditions of physical, mental, and moral health. Dr. Alexis Carrel, 1873 to 1944, a physician at Rockefeller Institute, won the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1911. The original British edition of his book Man the Unknown sold over 1 lakh copies. It has been translated into 12 languages. In his book, Dr. Carroll observes the physical and mental benefits of continence. It is well known that sexual excesses impede intellectual activity. In order to reach its full power, intelligence seems to require both the presence of well developed sexual glands and the temporary repression of the sexual appetite. Freud has rightly emphasized the capital importance of sexual impulses in the activities of consciousness. However, his observations refer chiefly to sick people. His conclusion should not be generalized to include normal individuals, especially those who are endowed with a strong nervous system and a mastery over themselves. While the weak, the nervous, and the unbalanced become more abnormal when their sexual appetites are repressed, the strong are rendered still stronger by practicing such a form of asceticism. asceticism. In Insanity, its classification, diagnosis, and treatment, the eminent American neurologist, psychiatrist, and health reformer Dr. Edward Charles Spitzka also confirms that excessive sensuous gratification invariably brings mental and physical illness. Illness signifies impurity in the mind and body. Therefore, along with knowledge of the practice of Brahmacharya, every spiritual aspirant should know something about the subject of purifying nourishment and its significance in the spiritual life. Purifying nourishment. The vital medicine for the soul is purifying nourishment. The sage of the Chandogya Upanishad says, when nourishment is pure, reflection and higher understanding becomes pure. When reflection and higher understanding are pure, memory becomes strong. When memory becomes strong, there is release from all the knots of the heart. This should be the thought in the spiritual aspirant's mind as food is consumed. Pure food obtains a pure nature, impure food an impure nature. There are two types of nourishing food. One type is food that is peacefully prepared with spiritual thoughts and offered to God before being thoroughly masticated to maintain the body as his instrument. Sri Ramanujacharya teaches the lawful acquisition, preparation, and consumption of the correct food according to the scriptures. Adi Shankaracharya describes the other type in terms of its psychological and ethical significance. Nourishing food for the soul, gathered by the perceptive and imaginative faculties of the discriminative, pure mind, which receives only pure impressions. Only a pure mind is capable of comprehending and realizing truth. Therefore, aspirants should strictly observe a correct diet and shut themselves off from outside influences. The Brahma Sutras allow one exception. One can eat all kinds of food when life is in danger. During his pre monastic days, Swami Vivekanand Narendra once said to Sri Ramakrishna, as regards food, one should take whatever comes. Sri Ramakrishna replied, what you say applies only to a particular state of the aspirant's mind. No food can harm a jnani. According to Gita, the jnani himself does not eat. His eating is an offering to the Kundalini. But that does not apply to a bhakt. The present state of my mind is such that I cannot eat any food unless it is first offered to God by a Brahmin priest. Formerly, my state of mind was such that I would enjoy inhaling the smell of burning corpses carried by the wind from the other side of the Ganges. It tasted very sweet to me. But nowadays I cannot eat food touched by anybody and everybody. No, I cannot. But once in a while I do. With you it is all right. You are in this as well as in that. That is, attentive both to the world and to the spiritual life. You can eat everything now. To the devotees, blessed is he who feels longing for God, though he eats though he eats pork, but shame on him whose mind dwells on woman and gold, though he eats the purest food, boiled vegetables, rice and ghee. The Gospel of Saint Mark also says, there is nothing from without a man that entering him can defile him, but the things which come out of him, those are they that defile him. Readers will find Swamiji's enlightening thoughts on the subject of food and its relationship to mental purity in the complete works of Swami Vivekanand. Swamiji says, as the organizations become finer and finer, it will be found in the beginning that the least irregularity throws one out of balance. One bit of food, more or less, will disturb the whole system until one gets perfect control. And then one will be able to eat whatever one likes, give up all argumentation and other distractions, read only those books which have been written by persons who have had realization. First hear, then understand, and then, leaving all distractions, shut your minds to outside influences and devote yourselves to developing the truth within you. Take one thing up and do it, and see the end of it. And before you have seen the end, do not give it up. He who can see, he who can become mad with an idea, he who can become mad with an idea, he alone sees light. Those that only take a nibble here and a nibble there will never attain anything. They may titillate their nerves for a moment, but there it will end. They will be slaves in the hands of nature and will never get beyond the senses. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it. Dream of it. Live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. Have that sort of energy, that sort of will. Work hard and you will reach the goal. The practice of Brahmacharya. In his Yoga Sutras, Patanjali says, Brahmacharya pratisthayam virya labha, or on being firmly established in sexual continence, vigor is gained. Brahmacharya is more than just the control of the procreative energy. The vitality of Brahmacharya replaces weakness, laziness, and lack of spirituality with exceptional resilience, strength, and energy throughout one's entire being. With the required control of all the senses, the body and mind are joined in the conscious endeavor to achieve chastity. The accumulated spiritual energy that this produces must be used for spiritual practices and loving service to humanity. These qualities lead the brahmachari to the highest illumination. Thank you. We'll continue the rest in the next video.